everybody, this is Rochelle from That's So Rochelle. Thank you all for coming back. Thank you all for being so patient with me. I know I've been missing, I think it's 2 weeks now. I apologize for that, but I have been extremely busy and there's a lot of things going on in my life right now that I have to just wait it out, and I'll be back to my sewing as soon as I possibly can. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. My name is Rochelle, and basically my channel is about my sewing journey. I started sewing maybe a little over a year ago, and I'm self-taught mainly, and basically I just show what I've been sewing, including all of my mistakes and everything, because like I said, it is a sewing journey. And I thank you all for visiting my channel and subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, that being said, I have no garments to show you. I've been so extremely busy that I have not been sewing. But I decided that I would share a few of my, I guess, some of my favorite sewing notions, and also a few of my sewing references. I don't have too many of them. I learn most of what I know from videos. I'm a visual learner. I could remember watching a lot of Nancy Seaman. I've bought CDs, but like I said, most of what I learned so far, I learned from videos, so there's not much that I can show you. But what I do have, I'll show you. So stay tuned, and again, thank you for coming back to my channel, everybody. I miss you all, and thank you for all of your kind words for all of the videos that I've done so far. Again, stay tuned, guys. Okay, so as I was saying in my introduction, I'm more of a visual learner. So most of what I know, I learned from watching videos. And this was one of the DVD packs that I bought at first. I was just watching one of them today. This is by a lady named Marlene Kuba, and I think she's from New Zealand. And it's called You Too Can Sew, The Essential Sewing Skills. There are 5 DVDs in here. I think that was the 5th one, was probably the one I was watching today. But these DVDs have all of the sewing, all of the information that you would need to sew garments, starting from learning your sewing machine all the way to you know, sewing sleeves and plackets, and you know, everything you would need to know is in this DVD pack. So most of what I know came from either watching DVDs like this or watching YouTube and other instructional videos. But I do have a few construction and sewing books. This one is called The Complete Photo Guide to Clothing Construction, and this is by Christine Haynes. And what I liked about this book was the vivid photos and all of the information that she had in here. As you can see here on this page, you have all of the markings that you would find on a pattern, and what all of those markings mean, and you know, how they're used. Also here you have, she talks about choosing your sizing, measurements, how to prepare your fabric, how fabric is made, how to plan for cutting, And here, this is one of the last things that I was reading lately, is how to do a fly front zipper. So I'm learning that, and I hope to be able to feature something that I've made that have a fly front soon to let you guys see what I've learned. But that's only you know, a few of the information that's in this book. I love this book. Like I said, by Christine Haynes, and it's called The Complete Photo Guide to Clothing Construction. Another reference, I think I had picked this one up from Joann's, and this is Simplicity, Simply the Best Sewing Book. And so this was from the beginning when I first started sewing as well. I wish I could find some pictures. Okay, it talks about patterns. So it teaches you about patterns. I'm not going to go through the whole book. See? Pattern cutting. I think this book has been around a long time. So probably some of you might even have it. But this was also one of my reference guides. Is also one of my reference guides. And my favorite is the Threads. This is by Threads magazine, and it's the Threads Sewing Guide. This also have tons of information in it. Right now, and a skill that I'm really dying to perfect is the welt pocket, and I have that marked somewhere, but I'm reading that. Oh, I can't find it now that I'm trying to find it. But anyways, I have it marked somewhere, and I have been reading this, and I think I understand how to do it, but I've also been watching videos because I'm more of a visual learner. So this and the videos, I should try to I'm gonna try to do a welt pocket soon, and I should get it right, and I'm excited about that. I can't wait to learn that. But this is the last book that I have. See, like I said, I don't have many. Okay, some of my sewing tools and gadgets. This one, everybody knows what this is, a sewing ham, and it's, you know, it's used for pressing. It has all the angles that you would possibly need for the garment. Love it. Don't know what I would do without it. I'm just very happy that I bought this. And okay, cutting tools. Cutting tools, I have the traditional scissors and pinking shears. Not that big of a deal. Nothing special about them. They're not brand name or anything. But I take very good care of them, and my family know not to cut any paper with my cutting shears. But I'm learning now, I'm learning differently that, you know, paper doesn't really dull your scissors, but still, they're not going to touch these. But that's the traditional cutting tools. And then, of course, I have a rotary cutter. This is by Fiscus, and I absolutely love this. And then recently I purchased this. This is an electric rotary cutter, and I bought it on Amazon. So basically you would put the fabric in here, and there's a guide so that you don't, I don't know if you can zoom in. There's a guide right here so that the fabric will go in between there, but you don't really cut what you don't want to cut. It kind of glides along the side of the fabric. And I am learning to use this. I don't cut everything with this, like around the armholes. I am not that confident yet with this thing, but I hope to get there, because I'm sure it's not that hard. It's just that I'm not really comfortable going in the circular motion with it yet. I cut mainly on a straight line, like if I'm cutting a skirt or a dress or a pants. I cut on a straight line with this. It's very quick. I love that it doesn't put any stress on my wrist or my fingers, and it's extremely quick. So that's one of my favorites right now, and it's going to be probably the favorite once I perfect using it. And then another cutting tool is my buttonhole cutter. Okay, this little gadget. Love this thing. When I make buttonholes, I wish I had a buttonhole that I didn't think of it. But when I make buttonholes, after I'm done, I take this block, and this is what I used as my, as when I press and I don't want, and I want to make sure that I'm creasing my seams properly, I would press and put this down. Oh God, I forgot what that's called. Oh, shoots. I can't remember. I'm sure some of you will remember. I'll remember it when I'm done with the video. That is something else. Oh, that just slipped my mind. But it's simply a piece of wood that I got from Lowe's. They gave it to me free. I actually intended to pay for it, but the guy was like, after he sanded it down for me to make sure I wasn't gonna get any splinters, and he cut it, and then he just handed it to me, and I went to the cashier, and she didn't know what to do with it, so they were like, oh, okay, no big deal, and I got it free, so I didn't have to pay for that. But what on earth do you call that anyways? So I use, in addition to using this for pressing, I also use this when it's time to put holes in my button. You have a piece of fabric. Okay, so after I make my buttonholes, I go right in between the buttonholes. I'm sure you guys can picture it, but how it works, but I really should have had be able to demonstrate it better. So you would go in between the buttonholes, making sure that you don't cut any of the thread, and then you just press. You have to put a little bit of weight to it, and it cuts a hole. So you would do that right along the entire buttonhole. And you don't really, I don't know if you can see the hole, but it is there. And you don't really run the risk of cutting through your buttonhole on the two ends like you did when you try to use the seam ripper. So I like that as well. This is one of my favorite cutting tools. Oh, and this is fray check. So after I cut my buttonholes, I put a little bit of this on the buttonholes, both back and front, and a drop of this, and this kind of stops it from fraying. So this is one of my favorite things to use as well. And I have been having a lot of trouble with zipper placements, and lately I've been using this instead of pins. What this is just tape. So I put this along the garment where the zipper is going to lie, and then I lay the zipper on top of it, and this actually holds the zipper in place. I don't have to use any pins. It holds the zipper in place until after I've sewn it. So this is a new thing for me. I don't know why I didn't know about it before, but I'm glad I found it. And okay, so as far as pattern making, oh wait, I'm so sorry. Okay, so I have a traditional seam ripper, and I love it, but it's getting kind of dull, so I decided that I wanted to buy a new one. And I went to Joann's and I found this. This is called a surgical ripper. And if you can, here, I'm gonna let you zoom in. Do you want a white piece of paper? You think it'll show up better? How's that? If you can see the tip better. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so this is called a surgical ripper, and I guess it's called that because of the shape of it. It looks kind of like a surgical knife, but it is extremely sharp, and it has that little thin edge there that can get in between the threads and just cut the threads. So I've been enjoying using this. It's a little different than what I'm used to, but I've been enjoying using this. But I still use my traditional seam ripper. So I'm just showing you. And oh, my pattern notcher. This is for my pattern making. I'm going to buy a new one because this one, I don't know why, but it gets stuck sometimes. But anyways, this is what I use to put my darts in when I'm drafting my patterns. So basically, wherever there's a dart on my patterns, and also on my garments, because I use this to put in my dart legs, and also the darts on my garment. So it goes through fabrics as well as paper. And what you do is you just put it onto the garment or the paper, and you punch, and it leaves a nice little opening. It's not too big, it's not too long, and it actually fits perfectly in your seam allowance without going across it. So I actually like that. I love this thing, but I'm gonna buy a new one because this one gets stuck sometimes when I squeeze it like this, depending on how thick the fabric is that I'm trying to put a notch in. When I squeeze it, it gets stuck. So yeah, but I actually can't do without this. And for measuring, this is a curve measurement. So okay, if you're making a pattern, or if you have a piece of fabric or whatever that you're trying to measure, this will curve and it will stand on its side, and you can measure more accurately because this will rest directly onto the piece that you're trying to measure. And you see it forms into whatever shape you need it to. So you know, all you would do is just look on the side and see the measurement, and I really like this. I'm trying to do pattern making more. Okay, so for cutting, I have an acrylic ruler. This is I think mainly for quilting, but I think everybody that sews, no matter what they sew, should have one of these. And you all probably do, because I don't know, I'm probably preaching to the choir here. But I found this, I saw this on YouTube somewhere, and I decided to try one. It's called the Gypsy Gripper. Yeah, the Gypsy Gripper. So what you do, before, when I was cutting, I would have to try to cut and hold this at the same time so it didn't move. And most of the time while I was trying to do that, it would move a little bit. So, you know, that was not good. So I saw this on YouTube and I have been enjoying it. So what you do is you put it onto your traditional ruler, and now that's stuck onto your ruler. It grips. See, it grips your ruler. And you put your pressure here. So when you're cutting your fabric, and you put this down, and you put your grip here, see, nothing moves, because this actually help you to keep that ruler in place. Love it, absolutely love it. So that's it for all of the sewing gadgets. Now I'm going to show you what I actually have been using, the machines I've actually been using to sew the garments that you've seen so far. Okay, so let's just pause for a minute so we can fix that. Okay guys, so this is my sewing machine. They don't make this model anymore. As a matter of fact, all the machines I have are old. I bought this machine used, and at the time when I bought the machine, the idea was to make handbags and that did not work out very well for me, and I ended up making garments. So here I am. But it is an embroidery machine as well as a sewing machine, and here at the bottom you can see a few of the more frequently used stitches. When you turn the machine on, it automatically defaults to this one, which you would see here in the window, and it defaults to the to the I guess the basic sewing stitches. So this is just a straight stitch, and the stitch length is here in the window, and I can change that with these buttons here. So I can change it to zigzag stitches here. Okay, and this is the stitch length. Stitch length is at the bottom actually, and the needle placement here. Okay, so then if you come over here, I have a few buttons here as well, which I can't see, but you can see that I have a feature for needle up, needle down position. Okay, I'm looking at it backwards. So okay, I have a feature here for the needle up, needle down position, so that when I stop, the needle, depending on which one I have it set to, when I stop, the needle would automatically stay in the fabric, and that'll allow me to lift my foot and rotate my fabric if I need to, or I can leave it in the needle up position, and that's, you guys know about that. But here's the backward stitch. I also have a button here that says fix, so if I turn this on, when I begin sewing, it would do a few lock stitch at the beginning of my seam, and then when I end my sewing, it would also do a few lock stitches. But I don't like that. I like to do my back stitching myself, so I usually just press this button here, and this is the cut button. It would cut my thread, pull the thread to the back of the fabric and cut it for me. But of course then I have also the traditional cutter here on the side of the machine. And it also has an automatic threading system. So okay, and here I have my speed that I can adjust. And I think that's basically it. The machine can do a lot. Like I said, it's an embroidery machine, so it slides off and the embroidery unit slides into place. So one day I'll just have this machine doing embroidery, and then maybe I'll have a different sewing machine. But for now, this is what I've been using to create everything, and I have no complaints with the machine. It's just that I would like to do some embroidery sometimes, mainly for garments, but I would like to do some embroidery sometimes. So that's a part of garment making that I would like to learn. That's going to be a journey in itself, actually. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video. Again, I would like to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I hope you come back again. Thank you to everyone that clicks on my channel. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope to be back on my sewing schedule again very soon, maybe another week or two. I can't say for sure, because like I said, I do have a lot of things going on right now that has to be taken care of, and I hope to be back on my schedule soon. Thank you again. Bye-bye. Hi everybody, thank you for watching that video. If you like my videos, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and you can hit the notification bell below so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. To see my last video, you can hit the last video that I have posted just above my head. Bye guys.